Hello, dear sister. Today's video blog. I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences between 3D, 4D, and 5D, all the different dimensions. Um, the 3D world is the one we all live in. It's the one that the majority of the world is singularly focused on. It's the physical world. I don't really feel a part of the 3D world anymore and of the concerns. So I had to sort of think, okay, so what are the concerns in the 3D world? Um, the concerns that most people have in the 3D world are the concerns we're told to have. It's a very authoritative, limited dimension. We're still at the mercy of violence, wars, limits, fears, doubts, suppression, repression. It's very heavy. And in our own lives, we're still concerned about the drama, the I don't know, the little concerns that really just don't mean much. It's very physically focused, just physically drama, authoritative, just it's not the great place to be. Um, can we be happy in 3D? I don't know if we can be happy in 3D anymore. I do believe there was a time that we were happy in 3D. The time of that though, it was a blind happiness, not really knowing the bigger picture. So now we're all expanding. And we are expanding ultimately to 5D and beyond. 5D, five-dimensional vibration is the one of unconditional love. Um, and it's beautiful and it's limitless. And I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. But what I've come to understand is that we also have to experience 4D, which you don't really hear that much about. And frankly, I don't have a lot of information about 4D except for what I have experienced. Now, 4D is the astral dimension. It's the dream time dimension. It's where ghosts reside. Spirits and ghosts are different. Spirits are free. They can move in multi dimensions. Ghosts are trapped. And they they're not of 3D anymore, but they still might think they are. And if they know they're not 3D and they're stuck, they don't know how to get out. Now, the reason this is important and why I'm talking about ghosts is because it's become very clear to me that while ghosts can be trapped in the fourth dimension, so can humans. As we are transitioning from 3D to 5D, of course we have to go through the transition of 4D. And it's really easy to get trapped there. A lot of people think that, if you wake up from the third dimension and there's something more, then that's it, you've awakened. But I really think that a lot of people, a lot of spiritual people can get trapped in 4D. I have been trapped there many times. I dare say more often than not. What does that mean that you're trapped? Well, in my own experience, I woke up from 3D. I realized there was so much more. There's so much more than what we were handed in this 3D reality. There's so much more than the physical. There's an expanded multiverse, multidimensional frequencies that we can experience and that we are supposed to evolve into. So you wake up and you start your evolution, and as you evolve, you realize and you get tastes. You get tastes of 5D. It's the taste of the limitlessness and of the bliss and of knowing yourself to be your own creator God. But the 4D, even though it's not as physically focused as 3D, there is a physical focus, because what you're doing is you're using spiritual principles to try and change the physical. When you're stuck in 4D, you are frustrated. There's a lot of frustration. There can be a lot of disappointment, a lot of expectations. I was just here 2 days ago. spent a lot of the summer in 4D. Um, and the frustration is knowing there's so much more, but not knowing how to get there, not knowing how to feel it. You know, for me personally, I'm like, I know I am this expansive love. I know I am limitless. My greatest frustration is that I don't know how to get there when I've been there before. And the thing about 5D, when you're in this unconditional love vibration and everything's wonderful, everything also is very, very clear. And it also seems very simple and easy. Every time I get to the 5D, I shift into the 5D frequency, I'm like, geez, you know, it's just so simple. How can I forget this? And there's been times when I would write myself reminders in case I slip back down of how to get there and how to be there. And, you know, I'll just write, you know, as a reminder, just remember to love everything and affirm its magnificence. And it's just so clear. Like, it's so simple here. Once you're in that light, you think you'll never lose it again. But then you do. And I think there's a couple reasons we slip back. One is we either instigated ourselves through lower vibration frequencies. We entertain old habits, old patterns that don't serve us. And if we do that on a continual basis, we'll stay there. We'll get stuck in 4D again. Another reason I think that we step back is because, and I've experienced that a lot this year. You know, I spent a good portion of the winter in this 5D vibe, and it was so yummy. Oh my God, it was so yummy. Bubbly. I'm up in the middle of the night, like writing these funny little songs. You know, I'm just full of creative energy, new creative energy, and just everything's fun. But when I was there this winter, I could feel that there were some things missing. I'm like, okay, I'm really enjoying this vibe, but there's some things that I'm missing here that have to come with me. And for me, it was like my health and my husband. Like, I'm loving this, but I forgot to bring a few things. So we can sort of slip back to bring those things with us, I want to say, in essence. That's not really what it is, but sort of. Like, okay, this is all well and good, but I'm not whole yet. I could tell that even as I was enjoying this bliss, I wasn't whole yet. There were still other things that I needed to clear and cleanse. And so that's another reason that we will slip back, because there's still some clearing and cleansing to do. That's a soul decision to consciously, even if we're not conscious on every level, to slip back so you can clear and cleanse. And so I spent a huge portion of the spring clearing and cleansing, and just even and feeling bits and bits of the 5D here and in there, the expansiveness, which is just the place you just want to be. But I'm getting back there now, you know. And will I stay here? I don't know. I am feeling more whole now. I am feeling more, okay, I haven't forgotten anything this time. Let's just do this thing. Let's just stay here and change everything right now. But my whole point, and here's the difference. Here's when you know when you're in 4D, and here's when you know you're in 5D. Because if you're watching that, if you're watching this video, you're not fully in 3D anymore. You're just not. You can't watch this video and be fully in 3D. So you're most likely in 4D and getting bursts of 5D. The 5D is where there's an effortless flow. It's when there's inspired action. It's when there's insights and just peace. The 4D is when we know there's a door there somewhere, but where is it? Where is it? Where is it? We try to take the inspired action. We try to make things happen. We're still trying to manipulate things in the physical. So we know these spiritual truths. We know that we're huge, we're expansive, we're limitlessness, but we don't know how to apply it, and we're still trying to manipulate the physical to make it happen. And that is such a source of frustration and anger. And if you're feeling the anger, you're perpetuating the 4D. Sometimes you just have to. You just have to feel it. And sometimes the anger can be used to propel you into 5D. So if you're feeling this anger and frustration like I was a few nights ago, I'm there on the floor. You know, everyone's asleep. It's the middle of the night. I'm laying there on the floor. I'm like, I know I'm out there somewhere. Where am I? I can't find myself. I needed help shifting back. And so I made this conscious choice. Okay, I'm going to shift back. I'm going to be pure love. And I just called in all my aspects. I needed help at this time. So I said, okay, my soul and the parts of me that I call my guides, the parts of me that I call my angels, help me. I need to shift out of this. So it was anger at being frustrated and stuck again that propelled me to just surrender and say, okay, I need help shifting now. I need help shifting now. And I got that shift. Oh, thank God. You know, thank God. When you have that shift from 4D to 5D, there's a relief. There's a relief. And the difference is when you're in 5D, you know there's nothing out there to take care of. You know, not even, there's just nothing out there. It's here, and this is what you take care of, is your own love, your own love. And I wish I could convey it, but if you're not in the 5D, or if you haven't experienced it, you can't really get it. I started to say I'll write myself reminders when I'm in 5D so I remember how to get back. But I'll look at them when I'm in 4D, these reminders, and they just don't make sense. Even if I intellectually understand it and know I've been there before, I just can't get there. So, you know, I can write myself, you know, this simple note when I'm in 5D. You're magnificent. Just love everything. And it makes perfect sense to me that it's that simple. But when I'm in 4D and reading that reminder, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, like that helps anything, you know? So sometimes you just can't get it. I'm going to talk, there's so much to this topic. So the things that can help you get there. Anger can propel you. Surrendering and asking all your aspects to just help you get there, help you feel that shift. Affirming to yourself, I am love, no matter what, I know I am love. And then partaking in the higher vibrations of books or videos. There's many times where I've read information or watched information from 5D, and that's enough to like give you a shift. I've even done it with myself with my own book. My book was written from a 5D frequency, and all my videos are from that as well. Sometimes just reading my own words from that frequency is enough to shift me. And anyone else that you can think of, I've had shifts watching Matt Kahn. I've had shifts, oh, I'm having trouble thinking of anyone else right now. I'm going to say Lauren Corgo. She's a great one. I mean, but if there's something that you feel is higher vibrational, but there are videos and there are books and there's information. Sometimes just basking in another's energy of someone who is like that. Bentino Massaro, I want to say that's another one. Sometimes, you know, you think, oh, it's the video that helped me shift, but no, it's the vibration coming from the video. It's the vibration coming from the book. So sometimes those things can absolutely help you shift. Sometimes I just need a phrase or a word that helps me remember. It's higher vibrational stuff. So if you need help shifting, seek out the books, seek out the videos, seek out a friend, you know, that is of a vibration. I have a friend, Carrie, and past couple days she and I have been reinforcing each other's 5D, and that's been really helping me stay where I want to be. But my whole point with the 5D is that there is an effortlessness there. You know you're love. You know you are magnificent. And when you can embody this and know it and feel it, molecules start to shift. Physics starts to change. You don't, my family just got home, so I'm a little distracted wondering if they're going to come up. But 5D is unconditional love. You know there's nothing out there that you have to manipulate. You just have to be who you are. And there's a purity there. I was just saying to my friend Carrie, you know, and she and I were talking about this. When you're of this vibration, it's not that the miracles happen to you, but they come through you. You know, I had this vision yesterday of just this clear channel through me of pure love, and this is where the miracles come from myself, from my own vibration. So it's like we become the self-sustainable, self-contained unit. We are the giver and the receiver of our own gifts. And I know some of you have experienced that. There's an ease there. There's a peace. Everything is fun and joyful. The 5D, though, we really have to nurture it because it's not a default yet. And we have to keep reinforcing it and feeding it so it will become our default. That's what this whole journey is about, defaulting to our pristine unconditional love. That's who we are. It's just back to remembering who we are. But when you are in 5D, things come to you. You don't have to go out there trying to manipulate the physical, because the molecules change to serve your vibration. The environment changes around you. So just to give a little example here, one of the easiest ones I can think of is trying to conceive, and I've been there. And when you're trying to conceive, you are trying to manipulate outside variables. You know, your temperature, your ovulation, the time, the position. You know, and even your thoughts and your affirmations. You're trying to manipulate the physical. When you're in 5D, you're already whole. And all you're focused on is the love in you and the love that you're sending out to others, sending out to yourself. And when that happens, the environment changes, your body changes. So I would have to say that 5D is the best fertility tool if you want a baby. I don't want a baby, so it's the best birth control. But it's your frequency. Your body changes. There's just the desperation that can sort of push things away, disappears and dissolves. Things change around you. The problems, the issues dissolve when you are in 5D. So I'm hoping this makes sense. It was an epiphany for me. Oh, the reason I feel trapped is because I'm just like a ghost in 4D. I know there's more, but I'm trapped. Sometimes your soul will give you an instant shift. Sometimes it'll happen that, you know, you'll wake up in the next day and you'll just feel better. Sometimes you have to shift yourself. And the things that you can shift, you can absolutely use your anger to shift. But like, fuck it, I'm done doing this trap frustration thing. Use the anger to propel you. Surrender to the process. Ask your, guides and angels who are really a part of you to just help you get there. Other things that can keep you in 5D is laughter, is play, is humor and dancing, creative pursuits. A laughter and play is 5D, total 5D, It's just totally off, not related to anything, but if I notice that I'm having a hard time or my husband's having a hard time, we have this really easy shift and we shift into an Australian accent. We love the Australian accent, but we'll shift into an Australian accent and it changes it because it's levity and play. It's like a different frequency. I'm not saying that the Australians are 5D, but to us, it's a playful thing we're doing, so that can shift you. So sometimes just a little shift like that is enough to get you into 5D. We'll keep going back and forth, and we will. For whatever reason, Whether it's because we're slipping down there of our own accord because we're giving into old patterns and habits, or it's because we're not quite whole yet and there's other things we need to purge or clear or bring with us. Um, it's a dance, it's a bounce back from 4D to 5D. Um, I think it's impossible to go back to 3D now. Once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. You can't unknow what you know. So we're turning our radio dial between the 4D and 5D station. The 5D plays the best songs, so I want to stay there as long as I can. Um, but if you shift back, know that it's not because you're doing anything wrong, and if you think you're doing something wrong, that's going to keep you in 4D too. Sometimes you just got to stay in 4D until your soul tells you it's time to get out. I just had this knowing a couple of days ago that it was just time to get out this time. It was just time to get out. It's time to leap. It's time to do new things. Um, wow, this is turning out to be a very long video. But the difference between action when it comes to 4D and 5D, 4D you're trying to make things happen. You're trying to figure it out. You're looking for the door. In 5D, you are the door. In 4D, you're looking for the door to get out. In 5D, you're the door where everything comes in. And action is very different in 5D. It's inspired. You can't stop yourself from doing it. It's just a beautiful place to be. And that's what we're all aspiring to, 5D or above. The vibration of unconditional love. And that's where the kids are when they come in, and it's our job to make sure that we don't try and bring them down to our level, but let them lift us up to their level. So anyway, 3D, 4D, 5D. Be patient with the process, because we will go back and forth until it's time to be permanent. And if you're in 4D, the best thing you can do is love yourself through it and just say, I'm not doing anything wrong. I love myself. I'm here for a reason, and things will shift. Don't ever think you're doing something wrong. That'll just keep you stuck. Don't ever be angry at yourself. Just let yourself, be in the process. Let it flow. And if you feel like you've just had enough of 4D and it's time to shift, then do it. Just call your guides and just do it. Because 5D is fun. And one day soon, we'll all be there permanently. All right? I'll catch you next time. Bye.